Good afternoon, everybody. This is Dr. Kevin Smith from the Chronic Condition Center in Bethel Park, PA, and I am delighted to come to you to share some information and to educate about what I do and how I'm a little bit different from other doctors in the area. So, I am a doctor of chiropractic, and one of the things that I do is try to get people out of pain and more functional. And I'm going to explain to you exactly how I go about doing that and some of the things that are a little bit unconventional about what I do versus what you may have heard about chiropractors and other types of stuff. So, in order to do this, I'm going to show you this little model right here. Okay. This is a takeaway unit of the spine, and this shows some anatomy that's in your body. This thing right here is a spinal bone called a vertebrae, and it's stacked upon the one above it, separated by this structure right here called the disc. So here's a bird's eye view of the disc. The disc has two parts. It's got an inner part called the nucleus, and it's very soft, like a jelly donut. And then it has an outer part that's very tough. It's called the annulus. And the annulus is got like concentric rings, like you would see on an onion or a piece of a tree that's been fallen down. And so when these two bones stack on top of each other, it forms this little hole right here. And out of that little hole comes this thing right here. That is called a spinal nerve. And the spinal nerve is connected to this structure right here called the spinal cord. And the spinal cord goes all the way up to the brain. And so between the brain, the spinal cord, and the nerve, that is your nervous system. Now, a lot of people think that a chiropractor is a back pain doctor. That's just partially true. We're actually nerve system specialists. So, my job, as I see it, is to make sure that your spine and your spinal nerves are happy and healthy, and there's nothing that's going to put pressure on the nerves so they can do their job. Now, only about 10% of the nervous system conducts pain signals. The other 90% has nothing to do with pain. It could be things like balance control, or it could be deep tendon reflexes, or it could be your special senses such as vision, hearing, taste, smell, touch, proprioception, things like that. And those have nothing to do with pain. So the thing is, you can have problems with your nervous system and not necessarily feel it. Like you could have problems with your balance control that has nothing to do with pain, or you could have problems with your vision or your hearing. It has nothing to do with pain signals whatsoever. So a chiropractor's job is to make sure that the nerve is nothing's putting pressure on it. And one of the analogies that I'll use with you is if you think about a garden hose and you turn on the garden hose and water flows through the hose, and if you parked your car on top of the hose, how well is that water going to flow? It's going to get cut off, right? The same thing happens if you have some vertebrae in your back that are out of alignment. It can cause pressure to get built up on top of this nerve, causing problems. Not necessarily just pain signals, but it can cause dysfunctions anywhere that this nerve goes to. So, for example, if this nerve is going to the heart, it can cause problems to the heart. If that nerve is going to your colon, it can cause problems with your colon. So that's how chiropractors can help people that have all kinds of organic problems because they can take pressure off of the nerves that goes to that structure. Chiropractors are also very, very good at helping people with back pain, neck pain, problems with the knees, problems with the shoulders, headaches and neck pain, plantar fasciitis, anywhere that there's musculoskeletal problems. So, in addition to adjusting the spine to take the pressure off the nerves, one of the other things that we also do is to prescribe exercises because the bones are surrounded by muscles. Muscles are attached to the bones, they move the bones around. And so we want to try to build up symmetry We want to build up tone, and we want to make sure that the muscles are happy and healthy and they're doing their job as well. So it's very, very common for us to prescribe exercise as well as stretching and inside the office therapies. Some of the stuff that we do in the office here includes spinal decompression therapy, or we'll put a person on a special chair and give them a bit of a stretch. And what that does is it takes the pressure off the nerve, and we add a little bit of vibration and a little bit of heat, and they just kind of fall asleep right away because it just feels so good to get the pressure off the nerves. In addition to spinal decompression, we'll use laser therapy. Laser is sometimes used. It's a very, very powerful drug-free, non-surgical solution for chronic pain. What it does is it uses very powerful focused light energy below the surface of the skin to arrive at the site that needs some help. And we apply some very specific frequencies of light energy. It reduces inflammation, it reduces swelling, it reduces pain, makes you feel awesome, maybe 20 or 30 years younger. And it's completely safe to use. And I use that all the time for people that have chronic knee pain, chronic back pain, headaches, neck pain, things like that. Additionally, we have therapy in the office called pulse wave therapy or shockwave therapy. Shockwave therapy, it's kind of a dumb word. It does actually not going to shock you, but what it does is it uses little acoustic waves, little acoustic sound waves to pulverize the soft tissues to get rid of adhesions and problems in the muscles. It creates an analgesic effect or a pain relieving effect, and it's very, very safe for everybody from kids to old people that may have osteoporosis. And it's one of the most powerful therapies I've ever encountered when it comes to treating plantar fasciitis or foot pain or even knee pain. Very, very good stuff. If you have any questions regarding what I do or anything else in the office here, please feel free to reach out by giving me a call at area code 412-595-7332. And I look forward to speaking with you and answering any questions that you may have. Again, that number is 412-595-7332. Give me a call and we can have a conversation. If you like what you heard in this video and you want to hear more, please like and subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate that. And we'll talk to you soon. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.